All right, well, but ugly car, anything but ugly jobs, and a right-on strategy. We're blitzing. Are you buying? Gary Kalpam and Rob Basso are here to get us going. So issue one, gentlemen, BMW going green. And this is its attempt at green. It doesn't look like much of a BMW, does it? In fact, it doesn't even look like a car. But maybe that is the idea. It looks more like a popular science project. We'll flock to it for good. Who needs style when you get more for the mile? Well, Gary, so far that strategy has not exactly worked. What do you make of this attempt?
I have to tell you, at first look, I thought I was watching the movie Transformers. It looks like one of those cars that's going to turn into one of those big robots. I don't get it. I think maybe they're just trying to differentiate between the regular gas cars and this. I don't know what they're thinking, and people that are buying this obviously got some blindfolds on.
What do you think, Ram?
Well, I think they probably actually read the California Energy Commission's report that said people who buy these kinds of vehicles look for a differentiating factor. They want the next big thing. They want to be separated from the marketplace. So I think BMW is doing what all the other manufacturers that make electric cars are doing, is try to look different, be different. So when you're in that BMW, the ultimate driving machine, you feel like you're the only one driving it.
But, you know, with the Prius, I mean, and even to a degree the Nissan Leaf, I mean, they look like cars that are cars. In other words, they get great gas mileage, and Gary, without doing some of the insulting styling thing, they're practical, they're stylish, and they do the job.
And last I looked, Prius sold pretty decently. Look, I think it comes down to, I think they're trying to be cool. I think it may be the in thing. It's 2013, and the young hip crowd is going green. So let's just do something different. And somehow they come up with this, Neil. And look, the bottom line is, if it doesn't sell, they're going to have to change it. If it does sell, more power to them. They're smarter than me.
Well, you know, there could be kids' sports in the backyard if all else sells. Anyway, issue two, from the unemployment line to online. Well, don't laugh. Amazon is serious in a big way, promising 7,000 jobs in more than a dozen states as it beefs up its distribution and online centers across the country. So I guess you could argue that any job is a good job, right?
I would argue that. 7,000 jobs. They're spreading all the way from South Carolina to Kentucky, as far north as North Dakota. Any job right now in America is good. Yes, the truth is we need more STEM jobs. We need more science, technology, engineering, mathematics. That's going to help get our country back on track. But, you know, let's applaud the American spirit. Let's applaud their entrepreneurism that got this started with Jeff Bezos. I mean, 7,000 jobs. All these people that are out of work potentially are going to be looking forward to working for Amazon. Let's not get hung up on these might be modestly paid jobs. What Amazon said was these jobs are 30% higher than your typical retail paying job. Kudos to Amazon.
And a job is a job is a job. Gary, what do you say?
Look, I know a lot of people that are out of work at this point in time, and even though this is not the highest paying thing, it would be a job. And that is meaningful for somebody to be able to get out of their house and go to something. It psychologically, number one, makes them feel better. Number two, they will be getting a paycheck. Bottom line, Amazon continues to grow sales 20% a year. They're foregoing profits for all these fulfillment centers, and that's where all these jobs are coming from. Let's hope it continues.
All right, gentlemen, here's something that might discontinue it, because issue three, our final issue, and this might give Amazon some pause in this whole hiring thing. It seems that Target is launching a price guarantee that pretty much promises if you find a better price online, they're going to match it at the store. I think online would mean Amazon. So, Gary, should Amazon be worried?
But potentially. Look, Target is doing the right thing. Any retailer does this is the right thing. Why? The worst thing for a retailer is somebody to come into a store, see a product they want, but not buy it because of price, and maybe you lose a little bit on the margin, but you get two things. A, you get loyalty, and B, possibly they're buying something else on top of it. So I think it's a good thing, and I think it's going to trend that's going to continue going forward and will affect Amazon.
What do you make of that, man?
I think they jumped on the bandwagon too late. Best Buy, Walmart, a lot of other retailers have been doing this for a long time, and I haven't even heard about this. They launched this in January. They haven't put much fanfare around it.
Very good point. No big bells and whistles
heard about
response.
it. I mean, the reality is I don't think Amazon had anything to worry about. I don't think it's going to affect their core buyer. They have their Amazon Prime that people pay $80 a year for. They're very different business models. Basically, Target is getting into the game to stay competitive with the other retailers.
And you'd have to go to Target to do this,
you have to physically be there.
So you have to physically be there.
Can you imagine everybody standing in line with their handhelds, how long that line is going to be? Well, I got this better deal. I saved 27 cents. I mean, you know, practically speaking.
Quadrupled not to go inside a mall. I would.
There won't be any malls. Mark my words. 10 years from now, there will be no more malls.
Gary.
But in this day and age, price counts, every dime counts, and people are watching their dimes. It is never too late to catch up to your competition. And now that it's being announced, more people are going to know it, and I think Target will benefit from it.
All right, that's just because you're cheap. But
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all.